Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with everyone you know.
Please welcome my masters and good friends, Sir Monsour del Rosario and Stephen Fernandez.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Rika.
Hi, Brian. Hi, Rika.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
It's good to be here on your show, and truly a pleasure.
How did you both start Taekwondo? Who was the first sa inyong dalawa? Of course it's Mon. I'm sure it's Sir Mon. Pero how did you get into the sport?
Well, my path to martial arts goes way back since I was like 9 years old. Without going so much into the details, my experiences as a child being bullied in school and always wanted to fight back against the bigger kids. And every time I fought back, lagi akong gulpi, lagi akong talo, laging black eye, laging basag yung ilong ko. So it destroyed my confidence. Dahil hindi ako makastand up sa mga bullies. So nawala yung confidence ko. Natakot ako pumasok sa school. Ayoko nag-aaral. Pag pumapasok ako, nagtatago ako na hindi ako mabiktima ng mga bully. And then, lumabas si Bruce Lee. Nung napanood ko si Bruce Lee, mga 9 years old ako, 10 years old, 11, 12, na-magnetize niya ako sa screen. So, sabi ko, paglaki ko, gusto ko Bruce Lee ako. So, sabi ko sa airpod ko, sabi ko, Dad, I want to learn martial arts. I want to learn what Bruce Lee is doing on screen. Whatever he is doing, I want to study that. I want to learn how to fight. So I didn't know that a human being would fight like that pala. So,
Si Master Pen, how about you?
Ako, actually, pareho kami ni Mon. Yung suot niyang t-shirt ang nag-influence na kung bakit ako nag-taekwondo. Ganun din, si Bruce Lee din. Because growing up in the 70s, I used to go with my dad sa Cubao, no? Di ba, nandun yung mga sinihan nun. So, nanonood kami lagi ng mga kung fu martial arts movies. Tapos, ginagaya ko sila lagi pag napunta sa bahay. Then, in elementary, in grade 7, sa Lasal Greens, meron akong classmate who was then taking already Taekwondo in Viramon Gym. So, sabi niya, mahilig ka pala magkarakarate, mag-kung fu. Sabi niya, samahan mo ako isang hapon, manood ka ng Taekwondo. Sabi ko, ano yan? Hindi ko alam yan. Then, sinamahan niya ako sa practice niya. I watched there sa third floor ng Viramon, yung malapit sa bilyaran pa noon. Then after that, so I think that was a Wednesday or a Monday. The following schedule, I enrolled. And I never stopped since then. So I remember in 81, I started, and after a year and 3 months, I took my black belt exam. So I started with Grandmaster Home, I took my black belt with Grandmaster. And today, I'm still with him.
How did you guys meet? Kasi you said a while ago that you were inseparable. You were basically partners and everything. So how did this beautiful partnership happen? Where and when did you meet?
Actually, I first met Mon when I entered PBB. Di ba, Mon? Sige, ako na muna kwento. Sige, inaayos si Mon. When I entered PBB or the Taekwondo Black Belt Brotherhood in 1982, sila yung senior batch. Then, or the middle, tama, sila yung pinaka-senior batch din, or third batch. Kami yung juniors na pumasok. So, that's where I met Mon the first time. So, he was already playing for the senior team of LaSalle. I was still playing for the juniors of Viramon. That started it all. And then later on, we became teammates in college when I entered BLSU. That started already our partnership. From being teammates in college, eventually when I made it to the national team, sila yung mga sumalubong sa akin. Si Mon ang sumalubong sa akin sa national team. Together with the rest of the other members who were then also competing for the Philippines.
But when I was with Ben, when we were together in the Olympics, Ben was always the hard worker. Okay, he never skipped training. He never was absent. When he would get hurt in sparring, I'd always talk to him. When he'd lose in a fight because he got cheated, I went through everything that he was going through. I experienced what he was going through. Not to give up. When he was in the Olympics and I wanted to go back to the 92 Olympics, he wanted to retire because I wasn't with him anymore. I said, Ben, you go. You know, you're 4 years younger than me. You go to the Olympics. I said, there's so many doctors, so many lawyers, so many military officers, so many architects, so many generals, so many kinds of profession in the Philippines, but there's only a few Olympians. If you win a medal, you're probably less than 10 people in the 100 million people in this country are Olympic medalists. And lo and behold, Stephen wins a bronze medal in the Olympics, and up to this day, nobody has broken his record. He's the only Filipino Olympic medalist in Taekwondo. So I'm very proud of that because somehow I had something to do with that.
Yes.
So,
You passed
we
the
never
baton.
separated. Our band is Ninong. Yeah, he's Ninong to my son. I'm Ninong to his son. Although he got married before me, because he had good girlfriends. I mean, good girlfriend. I had bad girlfriend, so I got married at 40. So my son is so much younger than his son.
Sir Stephen. Tama ba yun? Is that correct? Did you see that, kumbaga, but that he was really, really trying to mold you into something like the good side of him?
Well, there were times talaga na during the competition days, the fighting days, I would seek also some advice. And sometimes, there are people na, syempre, you cannot understand what you're trying to ask or find out. But Simon, being the big brother he was to me, would always explain, it's like this, it's like this. Then, the realization comes. So, malaking bagay din na we were together since the 80s. And, even to this day, minsan pag nagkukwentuhan kami, matagal pa rin, nagtatanong pa rin ako advice sa kanya dahil, siyempre, yung naging relationship namin, kuya talaga.
Pero pagdating sa married life, sa kanya ako nagtatanong ng advice, mas matagal siyang may asawa kaysa sa akin. Sa Taekwondo lang ako lumalamang, sa buhay ng mag-asawa, kaya ito ako humingi ng advice.
Ganun pa.
Ano ko naman kasi sa team, Simon ang huling nag-asawa eh. May mga nauna sa amin. Kasi yung talagang magkakasabay kami, Simon yung last man standing.
I hate to be serious, but I will. For a sport like Taekwondo that's not on television, that does not get that resonance as far as the mass market is concerned, how do you evaluate the sport as far as the younger generation wanting to play?
It's not that kumbaga, as televised as we want it to be. But in the grassroots development program of the association, there are many really practitioners, not just in the NCR. And even in the regions, we have so many practitioners because of the structure that has been put up by the Philippine Taekwondo Association. So whatever we do in Metro Manila, our counterparts in the regions are doing the same program. The same lesson plan for pumse, for sparring, and then of course upgrading for referees and coaching. So these are what we're doing para to maintain that level of popularity among our youth. So from way back in the 80s or 70s when it began until now. But the game has evolved really. It's so different when we used to compete before to now because of technology. But the passion, the drive of all the young kids around still.
Taekwondo has grown leaps and bounds from 1980 to 2021 now. A lot. In fact, the members back then were very little. Now, the members of Philippine Taekwondo Association is up 10 million members. So there's 10 million followers in PTA alone. That's just Taekwondo. That's not even other martial arts involved. So
Right.
they're just quiet, but it has grown a lot. In fact, recently I was just in Himamaylan in Negros Occidental.
Abaw!
I went to visit the mayor, si Mayor Raymond Thompson, and
Si
he had
Raymond,
three candidates that were 13, 12, and 9 years old. And they're from that small municipality. Well, not small, they have a big voting population there. And they're Taekwondo kids. And for that area, to have Taekwondo players competing in competitions, it speaks a lot about how far Taekwondo has grown. So if you compare the number of fighters coming into competition during our time, which was not that much, you compare it to this time that is in the thousands. I mean, Stephen has traveled with me to Mindanao, to the Mindanao Taekwondo Championship. We've been all over Mindanao, Sultan Kudarat, North Cotabato, South Cotabato, Jet, San, anywhere in Mindanao. We've also traveled parts of Luzon, Pangasinan, Pampanga, Bulacan, in the Visayas. We've also gone to Iloilo, Bacolod, all the other places where there's Taekwondo competitions. And when you enter, it's jam-packed with people. A lot of kids are playing. Maybe it doesn't get a media exposure that it really is supposed to get like other sports. Maybe because the association, they don't really pay much for media. Maybe they don't, but it's not gonna grow from nothing to 10 million members if the Filipinos are not interested in learning the martial art and the combat sport. Plus, mind you, it's already an official Olympic sport. When Stephen fought, it was a demonstration sport.
Demo pa yun.
But right now, it's an official Olympic sport. So, for it to be an Olympic sport, that means a lot of these kids who want to become Olympians and Olympic medalists, or just to even participate in the Olympics, like I said, there are many doctors, many lawyers, many politicians, many actors, many military generals, but there's only 9 Olympic medalists since 1928. And you're talking to one of them right now.
I've always believed and still believe that the formation of a really good country, it takes someone to play sport to develop discipline, character, and personality. What are your thoughts on this? Stephen muna, para walang billing. Stephen na muna.
It's true, no? Sports really is a part of formation. And many have said really that sports can really change lives. And many have already, lived this dream, no? To play sport, to be able to study, to travel, to have careers later on. But really, the Philippine Taekwondo Association, together with our sports leaders like the Philippine Sports Commission, we've had partnerships with them, especially in terms of conducting seminars. Like I said earlier, the PTA has a regional affairs committee, and we cascade the programs to the regions. And of course, with the government involved also, we help and collaborate in these programs, especially how to develop, the elementary level athletes that we want later on to be playing in the Palarong Pambansa. So may mga programa tayo like this now. But really, it's true, that sports should really be part of our culture because of the discipline that it teaches, and of course, it's a simulation of life. It teaches how to be tougher, especially even now, it's the pandemic time, and for many, they said that even the IOC sports is a small investment, but the returns you get is truly tremendous because of the benefits that can give both physically and mentally.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
Only here on V81 Radio, Manila.